Well, now in this tutorial, what we are going to see, so we have made something like this, right? We have created this UI, we have created this UI, means I was just playing with that instead of this match parent. Let me run once again. We have created this UI, not this UI, using this much code. So we created first linear layout. Into that linear layout we have added this edit text and this button with the vertical orientation, bit lengthier. Now same thing you can do with the XML. For that I would be creating new module. See carefully how I am creating new module. Just right click, new module, right click, new module, and select the module. What kind of module you are creating? Presently I am creating for phones and tablets. You may create the Android library, you may create the where module, or you may create simple Java library, or you may import the jar which has been created by someone. So presently I am dealing with the phone and tablet module. Say next. Name of the module, it is like the creating new application. So Gradle works with the modules, or Gradles can works with the different modules. For this you can search for my another tutorial on the Gradle. I have explained a Gradle in much better way in that tutorial, right? Okay, now phone and tablet, here I am going to create what you can say separate module. That is nothing but UI XML. I can name it as XML. Creating the UI through the XML. This would be your package name for this module, and it would be start running on ice cream sandwich. And the next, you can say next, right? Create the empty activity. This is a standard template. I am selecting the empty activity. Don't select this. This is the material design basic template, and this is the empty, which would be having nothing. And say next. For now do this thing. Afterwards we'll see, as we progress in the course we'll see different templates. Don't worry on that, but presently I'm selecting this, right? Then main activity, I'm going to name it as main activity, and here just tick this icon, kindly generate layout resource file. Kindly generate layout resource file, and say finish. So it would be creating the module. Say OK, right? And say OK. It would be creating the module. Say OK. It might take little bit time, right? Because I'm capturing the videos and working with the Gradle. It might be heavier for the system, but that's fine. Okay. Yeah, it is working. Remember that I have forgotten to push the code on the Git. We have already created Git repo for this. Now I'm going to create right click and then Git and add. Right, we have seen this, how to push your code to the Git. I have added. After that commit, right? Say second, creating layout, right? Creating layout or creating UI through what you can say code. Earlier code. Then we have seen something called as layouts. Then we have seen something called as layouts. So these many points we have seen. Layouts, what do you mean by layouts? Then views, then context, what do you mean by context? Then activity, then app compact activity likewise, right? And then say commit. You are going to commit to the local repo, and from the commit say commit, and from the commit you are going to push it to the remote repo, right? I'll show you my password. I cannot tell you. This is my password. I hope you get it. Now GitHub .com and /codekul, right? GitHub /codekul. Here you will find the repository. Can you see? 12 seconds ago, just 12 seconds ago. I cannot see any activity over here. Are you dealing with the repository or not? So if you are dealing this, I can see peaks, something like this, right? So make sure that you are working with, I get to know. Okay, so this code we have added over here, app, this, and what you have committed you can see over here. Just click on this, that's your commits. 22 files have been changed, these many files are there, right? Click over here, and what you can do is that just clicks on the commit. We just have two commits, this was yesterday's and this was today. So here you can get layout, views and other things we have committed, right? Remember that. Now, so this is a fundamental structure created. So Android dot or set content view, and it is giving the reference of r dot layout dot activity underscore main. Let me quick revise what do you mean by r dot layout dot activity underscore main. So there is a one app tool. App tool is going to look your Android's resource folder, and from this resource folder it is going to create one r.java file, right? So every single folder inside this resource folder, would be static inner class, public static inner class of the R class, right? Of the R class. And here by looking at this you will get to know that r dot layout dot activity underscore main, right? r dot layout dot activity underscore main. Okay, fine. So this is nothing but one R folder. Layout is a subfolder of the resource folder, and into the resource folder you have something called as one layout folder. Into that you have something called as, what you can say, one XML file, and into this XML file you can create some UI, right? Into this XML file you can create some UI. Okay, so this is that XML file, remember that. Now set content view is having two methods or multiple versions. Can you see set content view is having these many overloaded versions. So one with integer ID, one with view, right? One with view, and one with view and view group layout params. So in the last tutorial we have used this thing. We have directly created view and we have passed to this. In present tutorial we are going to write our layout code into one XML file that is going to be referred by r dot layout dot your layout underscore XML. For this thing I have already created one video tutorial on this, how Android creates resources. You may visit that, right? So here you can see set content view this. So this file is going to be referred by what? One integer value. This is nothing but one integer value, and Android will understand that yes, means this guy has created one XML file, and into that XML file he has written some code. Okay, let's do that same thing. So whatever we did in the earlier code, same code we'll do over here. I would be deleting some not needed code. It is actually needed, but for presently it is not needed for you, right? That let me change it something like this. Now instead of this relative layout I can have linear layout. Remember that tag is the class. If you have tag, that is nothing but the class. Instead of this text view, what can I do is that, so we have set something called as orientation. Your orientation I am going to pass it as vertical. Then I am going to create something called as edit text. Then you can say match parent. Height would be wrap content, right? then below this I am going to create one button over here. Then you can say match parent, wrap content, I am going to say text over here, and you can say OK over here. So you got the button. Now you have already referred this XML over here. So you are saying this activity that you will find all the code or all the UI inside this XML. So whatever you did in the earlier session, all that things would be performed by, means these things would be performed by whom? That is going to get performed by, what you can say, your source internally. So this code and this code is exactly same. Here you have created all the code, and here Android will create same thing by using XML pull parsers. XML parsing would be there. So it will go to the first tag, then it will create this much code, then it will create edit text object, then that edit text object would be added to this linear layout. This button would be getting added to again this linear layout, because you have written this edit text and button inside this linear layout, right? Select the module UI XML. You can have multiple modules over here. From this, select the UI XML current module and run the code. So this was your earlier code, remember that. Now you can see present code over here. Which way is better? Creating the XML or creating this thing? XML. Going with the XML is the better as per the time. If you see time efficiency, this code is much better than this code, but internally this is going to happen. Absolutely, internally this is going to happen. You don't need to worry about this thing. You just need to go on writing this code. Is that fine? Okay. So this is how you would be working with the XML, and this is the only line you have written over here. Set content view. Right? So this is about creating the same layout via XML. In the next tutorial, I am going to explain how to work with the buttons, how you are going to get the buttons. On the click of the button, what is going to happen, that we'll discuss in the next tutorial. Which one? Yes, you can. You can. We can do that. We'll see. You need to make some layout changes, or you need to add some padding over there or margin over there. We are going to see that. Just wait little bit. Fine, but that is possible. Fine. So in next tutorial we'll see how to click listener works. Well,